So, Reagan, what did you say that was so horrible? And Sarah, please be ready on the edit button. Go ahead.
Well, I was really, Mr. Beck, I was addressing the evangelical church, seeing the way Christian pastors and leaders have been just twisting the true gospel of the Bible and making this social gospel narrative. Was really upsetting and sad to me because I feel like it's very misleading to believers. And so I posted a video discussing the Black Lives Matter organization, what it stands for, and why Christians should be focusing on the gospel, which ultimately reconciles hearts and fixes the sin problem of racism, rather than calling for action and focusing on racial reconciliation and things that are not of Christ.
Well, there's no reconciliation with BLM and this movement. There is no racial recognition. There is beg for forgiveness, but you can't really even know what you're sorry for because you don't know what you're guilty for because you're white. And you have to go through them for forgiveness. And there is no forgiveness, as I just pointed out. The problem with that is the only one that can truly grant forgiveness is God. You're coming in because you're white with original sin. Well, that goes against, we don't hold people responsible for what their fathers or their great-grandfathers did at any time. God doesn't hold people responsible. He holds you as an individual and never a collective. This social justice garbage that is being shoveled by many of our churches is just that, garbage and an affront to God. When man declares there's an original sin that you have to pay for because of what somebody else did 150 years ago, and there is no real forgiveness for you because you're white or black or yellow or orange, it doesn't matter, that's an affront to God. And I don't know why churches aren't getting this.
Yeah. I definitely agree. And I think too, Mr. Beck, there has been a Trojan horse of social justice within the church for a very long time. And I think, after the George Floyd incident, things have come to their peak. And so the church is kind of in a place where if they don't address this, it would be an injustice to congregants, it would appear. But it's a shame, really, that the church has drifted so far from teaching theology that they have to, as Scripture says, tickle the ears of those willing to listen. And they have to call for worldly virtuousness over spiritual righteousness. And it's just a dangerous line to walk. I think you have a congregation of people who come to church on Sunday to hear the gospel and walk away in worship, but many church leaders are sharing a motivational speech with scripture sprinkled in so that congregants walk away with a worldly call to action, which ultimately does not save.